Okay. So for YouTube, this is gonna be our second streamed league with HogaakVine. The slight difference this time is instead of playing Force of Vigor and Collector Oof in the main, we're playing Bridges and Therapies, and then we have the Vigors in the sideboard instead. You also have to drop like one of the Bayous to fit the full Bridge therapy package. I'm not 100% sure I like that very much. We'll have to see how it goes. And I also don't get to put the Mental Misstep in, so there's definitely some positives and negatives to this build. I find it's like a little bit better against the fair decks, and you have some extra play with therapy versus the unfair decks, but I feel like Force of Vigor typically hinders those decks a little bit better. But we'll have to see. So this is going to be round one of our league, and we are playing against Team Leader NA, who I know from last league I played is on a Grixis Reanimator show. This hand's just not going to be good enough to beat that. This one has a Bazaar, and we have double therapy, which is kind of nice. Well, maybe not double therapy yet, but we have the possibility of double therapy. We're just going to bin one of the Bazaars here. We also have turn 1 Deathrite Shaman, which should help. Okay. Oh, they're not on Reanimator. They are on probably mono red one shot, one kill deck, which is an art special here. I played against this a couple times in leagues now as well. Pretty cool deck. It's got like bunch of free spells, Blazing Shoal, pitching Reveler, Femur Battle Rage, that kind of stuff. Fire Blast. So what I'm gonna do is start with Bazaar, but I think it's likely. The Vengevine kind of changes things because now, no, it doesn't change anything. Well, we still have Once Upon a Time, so that's kind of nice. So I'm gonna pitch Bloodghast, Vengevine, Bridge from Below, cast Once Upon a Time. See if we find like a hollow one. We do find a hollow one. Now we have choices, right? So I was thinking about maybe I should have pitched Therapy instead of Bloodghast. What I was thinking about was playing double Therapy, blind naming Blazing Shoal, and then naming something else if I had a creature to use a Therapy off of. Blazing Shoal's like the only way we die next right now. Maybe I'm still supposed to take the hollow one and I'm still supposed to therapy anyways. I could see that being the case. Just to prevent the one shot, one kill kind of deal. I think we can do that. We get a little low on cards, but I guess technically depending on what we see with this therapy, we could cast our hollow one and then therapy again if we needed to. I just kind of want to save the hollow one to bring back the Vengevine, but so I'm going to name Blazing Shoal here because it's like the only way we're really going to die. I also played them on Reanimator very recently. Okay. So if they go Mountain, Mutagenic Growth up to 4, Battle Rage up to 5, Blast up to 6, doubled is 12, plus Blast is 16. So we wouldn't die unless they drew another spell. But what we might want to do is just play the hollow one and get rid of this Battle Rage, which will give us ample time. This is 16 damage, and any spell is an extra 2 damage, and any pump spell or burn spell, yeah, I think you just have to get rid of this Battle Rage. I mean, we could block. But it just doesn't, it's not actually really good for us. Actually, that might just be fine. Maybe we just leave it and we can block. Always gonna take up 4. Like, currently they could mutagenic growth and battle rage, and that would kill our hollow one, but take 2 of their cards. Yeah, maybe that's actually fine. Untaps as well, right? So they could attack. They should attack first and then do it. Not that that's a huge deal, but there are Vengevines. I assume they attack here, and we just block and make them use spells. Yeah. This is the same list we played against the... Or maybe not the same exact list, but a similar list to we played the other night. I don't know if I played against it on stream. Yeah, I played against it on stream. Nope. No, we didn't play against it on stream. I played against this list a couple times now. Alright, so opponent, we got the Temur Battle Rage out of our opponent. We didn't have to use our therapy. I think that's just a big win for us. But now we know that they have Mountain Fire Blast and an Unknown. We're really looking for like a Root Walla here to trigger our Vengevine. Why? I don't see what that was. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. Alright, we didn't hit the Root Walla. What we can do here is play our Deathrite Shaman and play a Bazaar and try to hit Root Walla or Hogaak, which is probably the best play, because the Strip Mine does kind of stop the fight. Well, so the Strip Mine kind of holds our own against Fire Blast. The Bazaar advances our own game plan better. So I guess that's a pretty interesting choice. I think I'd rather do the Bazaar, though. This also lets us therapy, if we want to. Let's just start by... Oh, I forgot I have a Blood Gas as well. That's pretty nice. So I didn't hit a Hogaak or a Gooter. I think what we do is we just therapy our opponent off this Bloodghast. And then we'll just take this Fire Blast, seeing as they have 6 through it. So they have another Battle Rage off the top. So I don't think we can die here. Doubles. If they want to use it and attack my zombie, that's fine. Well, the only card we really don't want to see is like Bedlam Reveler at some point that refills their hand. So I assume this will be an attack then. No attack. All right, so upkeep we can activate our Bazaars. Looking for Root Wallas, Bloodghasts, and Hogaaks, while that we have no cards in hand. We hit a Root Walla as well as a Therapy. So now any 1-drop creature that we can cast, even a Bloodghast which we can cast, basically most creatures will trigger our Vengevines. Perfect. We know they have a Battle Rage. Just use this to take the Battle Rage, make them use it right now. That's fine as well. Or Root Walla. Oh, they're just gonna let me do it? Okay. Cool. Alright, we got there. I'm having a lot of fun with the 2 different variants of HogaakVine. I enjoy them much, much more than HollowVine. I didn't enjoy playing HollowVine, but I enjoy playing this list quite a lot, which is very odd. No Force of Wills, and still enjoying it is kind of interesting. It's like the only true aggro deck of the format, right? I mean, I guess this is an aggro deck, but I'm having a lot of fun. So, against this opponent, I was just bringing in nothing. They're playing Ravenous Trap as their sideboard hate at the very least, and I don't remember if they were playing other sideboard hate. The therapies are actually like pretty reasonable here. Yeah, yeah. That's been a problem with my content. Is it definitely hinges on how much fun I'm having. So, and that's at points vintage can be very draining. I guess like you could technically bring in deafening silence, but I don't really think that's the line. I think I would rather just keep therapies and bridges. We can't really chalice on, like, we don't really want to chalice on one in our deck. So I really only am bringing in chalice like on the play versus Moxen deck and on the draw versus PO. And knowing opponent is on probably trap and surgical. Maybe, I don't know if both, at least trap, like that makes vigor not very good. I think I'm on to resubmit here, which is not a very common thing for me to do, but definitely it happens a little bit more often with the bridge version than the force of vigor version. So lots of mono red Shoal. The deck is super cool. Like maybe I'll stream it at some point just because it's a fun deck. At least it's a little more similar to your Arclight Phoenix list. What list is similar? This list, I guess? Yeah, I guess that's kind of fair. This Hogaak list is kind of similar to how the Arclight Phoenix deck plays. I guess that's pretty true. This deck has a little bit more play to it than the Arclight Phoenix deck. That one doesn't like have any interaction, right? Not that this deck has that much interaction. Why is this like not in the center of my thing? I don't know if that's gonna fit on the new monitors. When do I get my when do I get my table? That's my question. When do I get to set up my sweet new gaming station? Your orders. Arrives on Monday. God bless. Oh, I also took Monday off, so maybe I can set it up and stream on Monday. That would be ideal. That would be peak. What is this? This is interesting. Maybe I'm actually supposed to take out some wastelands in this matchup. I didn't think about that. But if I could take out some wastelands in this matchup when I don't think my opponent is on Tabernacle and they're on all basic mountains, and then I could put in some whatever, some kind of graveyard hate. This hand has Lotus Vine as well as a Once Upon a Time. This is actually probably close. I think I'm gonna keep. I do kind of wish I had done something like if that Wasteland was instead. It could even just be like Deafening Silence or Surgical, and it's probably better than a Wasteland. Though boarding out Wasteland makes it harder for me to trigger my Bloodghast, so there's a little bit of give and take there. But like this doesn't cast anything, so I kind of think I probably should board them out. Maybe we'll try that if we go to a game 3. It's a good one. That's their best one drop for sure. Do they have Blazing Shoal? Alright, so that's a good draw as well. Interesting. I'm gonna lead with this. We can still Bazaar if we drew a Bazaar. A second Stitcher Supplier as well as a Hogaak. Interesting. Can we play a Hogaak on turn 1 here? If we go Lotus Supplier. That's 3 cards in the yard. That's 4 cards in the yard. Play our Bloodghast. We're one card short. The problem is if we take like Absolutely right. I think the problem is if we take a second Stitcher Supplier, we put 2 Hogaaks on the bottom, and then you're really not doing anything with them. I think we're supposed to take a Hogaak, and maybe we're just supposed to play Stitcher Supplier and not use our Lotus Vengevine. Or like Lotus anything. And then next turn we could like Wasteland, Lotus, Vengevine, something. Not ideal. I think we're supposed to take a Gak here though. I'm just gonna go with the Bayou Supplier. So if we hit I mean they could also have Ravenous Trap, right? So this plays around Ravenous Trap kind of well, because if it doesn't hit anything good, they're not incentivized to play Ravenous Trap, and then we can maybe play a Hogaak next turn off of like Lotus, Ghast, Hogaak from our hand. That we hit nothing off this. I can't use mana on this. I can only use Delve, and this wasn't a fetch land. If this was a fetch land, then we could have played a Hogaak this turn. But it wasn't a fetch land, so... And we're not going to want to block with our Supplier, because we're going to need to have 2 creatures in play to play our Hogaak. Hogaak's a really good card to have in play against this deck. If we can finagle a Hogaak this turn, which we should be able to, I'd be really happy. Like, just doing Lotus, Bloodghast off of Lotus, that's 5 cards in the yard, using them both to play a Hogaak, it should be good enough. They only have 3 cards left in hand. Will they attack into my Supplier? Yeah, I'm not gonna block. Kind of need the creature in play. They want a Blazing Shoal here, that's fine. Oh, they're gonna Surgical my Hollow one. Interesting. That's a very odd one to Surgical. That is going to disrupt my Hogaak plans. I'd have to like Wasteland. Wait, no, oh, they missed it. Oh, opponent. Opponent has to... So when you guys cast Surgical on Magic Online, the first thing you should do is click the card you target in the graveyard. So this would have worked anyways. So we would have still been able to play our... We would have been fine anyways. I should... Cards in the yard. I should play this. What am I gonna name with this therapy? I guess I don't need to name anything. I guess we should just play the Hogaak first. And then we can therapy, sack Bloodghast to therapy, and bring back Bloodghast with Wasteland. I guess I could therapy myself on bridge first there. I think I'd rather therapy them twice, though. I could be wrong, though. Bedlam Reveler. They're pretty far away from Bedlam Reveler. I guess we'll just take Temur Battle Rage to start. They have Surgical Mutagenic Growth. Let's see. Now I don't want to take my Bloodghast, and I don't want to get my Bloodghast Surgical. But maybe I'll just use my Stitcher Supplier. I'm just gonna give them way more targets though. I think they're conceding. No. I could have therapied my bridge, but I kind of wanted to take their whole hand with therapy. Like, I think my line here of therapy them, sack Bloodghast, return Bloodghast, or sorry, therapy them, sack Bloodghast, therapy them, return Bloodghast with Wasteland is like a little bit stronger than getting 2 bridges, or getting like, what is it? Well, just 1 bridge. Yeah. So for the person who said, couldn't I have played a Hogaak the last turn? I don't believe so. Let's go look. How do I do that now? On new. Last turn? I don't believe so. Let's go do it on... Ah, found it. So let's go look. So this turn, so Hogaak, you can't use mana to pay for. So you need to tap creatures Or oh, you're totally right. We totally could have, right? Why did I think we couldn't? I just miscounted. You're totally right. Really weird. Maybe I was like thinking about HogaakVine or something. Yeah, no, you're right. Because of maybe I was forgetting Once Upon a Time or Lotus, but you're totally right. We could have cast Hogaak on turn 1, and we should have. Yeah, I don't think that plays. It doesn't really play into anything. The upside is like you can't get trapped. I mean, you can still get trapped, but you're less likely to get trapped with the current graveyard. So like the one upside is if opponent is knowledgeable about how the deck works, right? And they see you put Bloodghast on the stack with 5 cards in your graveyard, they can Ravenous Trap me here. And with opponent having 3 cards in hand, it might actually be better to play around Trap. Like I'm not like saying that I played around Trap here, because I clearly didn't. I think I clearly just miscounted. But I actually think you could argue that it's better to not play Hogaak here because of Ravenous Trap, right? So your opponent's never gonna Ravenous Trap these 4 cards out of your graveyard. But if I go Lotus Bloodghast, they might like, if they're knowledgeable about how Hogaak works, they're just gonna hit my 5 cards. So like I think there's actually some upside in the way that I ended up playing it, even if that wasn't my intent, which is interesting to note and like very good for future games, because we do know they play Ravenous Trap.